the history of, for all of us, is obviously extremely important. The history of Montgomery County, perhaps to me, is the most important of the history that we discuss, because candidly, I lived some of it. I didn't live all of it, but I've lived a part of it. And to see the families and the people that are have worked so very hard over the years that I went to school with and have had and remained in contact with is always really a highlight for me personally. You know, it's hard to believe that I went to first grade in 1956. That part's not hard to believe, but the part that's hard to believe is that that's the first year that, to my memory, is when Montgomery County schools were actually integrated. It's hard to believe that in my lifetime that Montgomery County public schools were not integrated prior to that. And when I was in first grade, and of course Gaithersburg was a much smaller place, so all the families knew each other. I mean, the fact that someone didn't go to school with someone, really, you knew the families, you knew everyone there. So it certainly was fun to see your friends in your class. But in Montgomery County, the fact that I have two older brothers, one of whom is 5 years older than I am, one of whom is 2 years, and the fact that they would not have always gone to integrated schools in Montgomery County is really something that is just hard to understand. It's hard to believe. But it happened, and thank goodness we have grown quite a bit from there. We have a long way to go, but we've grown quite a bit from the time that we had all these types of difficulties. I think it is so very important to make certain that we continue to really show and to remind each other of our history, because as we know, there's people in this room who know that every day someone who really should have been videoed, taped, or someone sat down with them and gotten their thoughts on what it meant to grow up in Montgomery County or in the rest of the United States, the rest of the world. But they pass away, and those thoughts get lost. Our grandparents, who we should have been listening to every word that they had to say in a lot of ways, the fact that they are no longer here to tell us of their journey, and it's not reminded in any way for our children other than word of mouth, is really a disturbing thing for all of us. And so it is so very important to have programs like this. It is so very important for us to really tell each other how much we appreciate each other, because that gets lost in the discussion too. We take it for granted that someone's going to know that we thank them for what they're doing. And I also want to say that I realize the sooner I stop speaking, the sooner we can actually see these videos. So I'm going to stop. Thank you very much.